Okay, well, we're talking about distributions of data and creating histograms and box and whisker plots and things like this. So let's take a look at creating a histogram using a TI calculator. And of course, the version I've got up here is a TI 84 plus. But we're going to create a histogram. Now, a couple of things I want to do first. If I've got anything in this y equal area, I want to clear it. So I'm going to hit clear here and clear that out. And then I'm going to go up here to stat plot. You can follow along as I click each button, it's going to highlight in red. I'm going to hit second and then y equals again, which carries me to stat plot. I want to make sure it's on, and it is on. But I'm going to go ahead and hit enter because I want to make sure I'm over here at a histogram, and it is. This little area right here, let's see, I'm going to just, as I move this, right there is a histogram. I'm going to hit enter. All right, so I should be plotting a histogram. And then I'm going in here to stat, and it brings up edit the list. I'm going to look at the list. Now, I've already entered this data. This problem is actually from example number 1, or excuse me, problem number 1 on page 738, where you got the amount of time that James ran on a treadmill for the first 24 days. And I went ahead and entered this data to save us a little bit of time. Maybe in another one I'll enter some data on another video just to go over that one more time. And I'm gonna begin to start graphing this. And I think first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit zoom, and then I'm going down here to option number 9. Now I could just hit 9, but option 9 is zoom stat. I'm gonna hit enter, and here I've got a histogram. Now, one of the tricky things that I've noticed using this TI-84 and trying to get to a histogram, although this gives me one, and this would tell me that this is negatively skewed because here's where my majority of my data is in this column right here. But if I want to get this, make it look a little prettier, I can go in here to window, and you can see that it's got an X minimum of 7. Well, I'm going to just set that to 0. And hit enter. And it's when I did the zoom stat, it automatically loaded in 33.8. I'm going to change that to 34. And I'm just kind of rounding to another X scale. I'm going to change to 4. Now, none of my data was negative, so I'm going to change that Y minimum to 0. And I think I'll leave this X max at 8. So I'm going to hit enter. And I'm going to go back to my graph. And there we go. We see a little bit neater looking histogram. We can see that it's negatively skewed because the tail of this is going towards the left. So we got a negatively skewed histogram. And if we were to perform the next part, which I'm not going to do on this video, where it says describe the center and spread using either the mean or standard deviation or the 5-number summary. Because this is a skewed distribution of data, as evidenced by this histogram, I would have to use the 5-number summary, which we had videos on that, I believe, in the previous, or went over that in the previous chapter section. So there you go. That's creating a histogram using a TI-84 calculator.